A single leaf from a plant at your local nursery can turn a normal afternoon into a medical emergency, and you might not recognize the danger until it's too late. Today, I'm counting down 7 plants I advise you to avoid buying from nurseries if you share your home or yard with children, pets, or livestock. And I'll give you safer swaps so you don't have to sacrifice beauty for safety. I've spent years working in nurseries and gardens, watching which plants fly off the carts and which end up returned after an alarming call to a vet or poison control. When I talk about risk here, I'm relying on what poison control centers, the ASPCA, and plant toxicology references report about real cases. If you care about garden safety, hit subscribe. I put out short, practical safety guides like this regularly. Oleander, Nerium oleander, is the kind of shrub that looks like sunshine in a hedge. Glossy, lance-shaped leaves and clusters of big, colorful flowers. Nurseries sell it because it's drought-tolerant, blooms for months, and creates a dramatic screen. The hidden problem is the plant's chemistry. Oleander contains cardiac glycosides, powerful compounds that interfere with how the heart beats. Ingestion of any part of the plant, including leaves or trimmings, can cause nausea, vomiting, slowed or irregular heartbeat, and in severe cases may be fatal. Animals are vulnerable too. Horses and dogs that nibble clippings or stray leaves have been reported to collapse suddenly after eating oleander. It's not just eating whole leaves. Even small amounts can be dangerous for sensitive individuals or animals. If you want that tropical look without the risk, consider hibiscus, Hibiscus rosa sinensis, or some hardy salvias. They deliver bright flowers and a similar lush silhouette, but do not carry the same cardiac toxicity. Beautiful, but deadly. And that cardiac risk is why I keep this one out of my recommendations. Think of foxglove, Digitalis purpurea, and you see tall spires of bell-shaped flowers that nod in the breeze. It's a classic cottage garden favorite and historically gave us medicines like digitalis, which is precisely the red flag. The plant contains digitalis glycosides, compounds that can alter heart rhythm and can cause dizziness, vision changes, irregular heartbeat, and seizures if ingested. Children playing in a flower bed and curious pets investigating the bells have been involved in reported poisonings. Because it's sold as an ornamental, people don't always treat it like a potent drug. If you want vertical color and drama without the same risk, plant snapdragons, Antirrhinum majus, or foxglove lookalikes that provide height and shape, but pose far lower systemic toxicity. Foxglove's charm is obvious, but its chemistry is why I warn people to avoid bringing it into close contact homes. Dieffenbachia, known commonly as dumb cane, Dieffenbachia spp, is a staple indoor plant for a reason. Big, glossy leaves splashed with white or cream make it a go-to for low-light rooms. Its name comes from an old observation. If someone chews the leaf, the intense irritation can make them temporarily unable to speak. Hence, dumb cane. The culprit is microscopic calcium oxalate crystals in the sap. Those crystals embed in soft tissues and produce immediate painful burning, swelling of the mouth and throat, and severe drooling. In the worst cases, swelling can threaten the airway, and children and curious pets who chew leaves are at particular risk. Houseplants like Dieffenbachia are popular because they're forgiving and decorative, but that same accessibility makes accidental exposures more likely. Safer indoor greenery alternatives include the parlor palm, Chamedorea elegans, or a Boston fern, Nephrolepis exaltata. Both give lush green volume indoors without the same acute oral injury risk. It's a plant you want to admire rather than handle with little ones around. The sago palm, Cycas revoluta, looks like a mini palm, stiff, feather-like fronds emerging from a central crown. Nurseries often sell young specimens as ornamental specimens for patios and lawns. But the seeds and young shoots contain sikicin, a toxin strongly associated with liver damage. Pets, especially dogs, that ingest seeds or chew on fallen fronds have developed severe liver failure in reported cases. Small amounts of the seed can lead to profound, delayed symptoms that ultimately result in life-threatening liver injury. Even handling broken seeds or sap requires caution because animals are attracted to the fruiting heads and to the starchy seed interior. If you're drawn to the tropical silhouette, consider an areca palm, Dipsis lutescens, or a ponytail palm, Beaucarnea recurvata. Instead, they bring a similar aesthetic with a much lower profile for severe systemic toxicity. Sago palm is one of those landscape staples that looks harmless until a pet owner calls a vet in the middle of the night. Castor bean, Ricinus communis, is dramatic. Large glossy leaves, deep red or green forms, and spiky seed pods that add a sculptural edge to beds. The problem is in the seeds. Castor beans contain ricin, a potent plant toxin. Ingesting seeds can be extremely hazardous and has been associated with serious poisoning. Children and pets can be attracted to the shiny, textured seed capsules, and accidental ingestion of even a small number of seeds can be dangerous. Because the plant is often sold as an annual or ornamental with bold foliage, buyers don't always expect the severity of the risk. A safer decorative option with bold leaves would be elephant ear, colocasia or alocasia hybrids, or canna lilies, canna spp, which provide large leaf drama without the same level of seed-based systemic toxin risk. Castor beans' look is compelling, but its seeds are a reason to steer clear. Azaleas and rhododendrons, Rhododendron spp, including azaleas, are common, showy shrubs used everywhere from foundation plantings to slopes. They're beloved for profuse spring color and compact forms, yet they contain grayanotoxins, compounds that can disrupt nerve and heart function. In humans, ingestion of leaves or nectar can cause nausea, dizziness, a slow or irregular heartbeat, and weakness. Historically, grayanotoxins are implicated in mad honey poisonings from bees that forage on certain rhododendron species. Pets and livestock are also at risk. Goats, for instance, have been reported to become ill after browsing azalea clippings. If you want evergreen shrubs with spring flowers that are generally less risky, look at camellias, Camellia spp, or viburnums, Viburnum spp, which offer reliable landscape structure and attractive blooms without the same grayanotoxin profile. These shrubs are common in nurseries and landscaping, but should be avoided in homes with curious grazers or small children. Lilies, and this is critical for cat owners, are deceptively dangerous. True lilies, Lilium spp, and daylilies, Hemerocallis spp, are often brought into homes as cut flowers or planted in borders. For cats, exposure to lilies has been associated with acute kidney injury that can develop quickly and be life-threatening. Even small amounts of pollen brushed onto a cat's fur and later ingested during grooming or a nibble at a leaf have been implicated in severe poisoning reported by veterinary toxicologists and the ASPCA. People assume that a beautiful bouquet is harmless. For households with cats, lilies are one of the highest risk items you can introduce. If you love fresh flowers, choose orchids, Orchidaceae, or roses, Rosa spp. Instead, they bring elegance to a vase without the same acute renal risk to feline companions. If you're getting flowers as gifts and you have a cat, ask before bringing lilies into the home. If you think that's already a lot, here are 3 quick honorable mentions to keep in mind. Hydrangeas, Hydrangea spp, contain compounds that can release cyanogenic substances if chewed, generally producing gastrointestinal upset mainly. Monkshood or wolfsbane, Aconitum spp, is historically and still highly toxic. Handling it with care is essential, and it's best avoided where children or pets are likely to handle flowers. And common philodendrons and many calla or arum family plants carry calcium oxalate crystals similar to Dieffenbachia, causing painful oral and skin irritation. These are not always fatal, but they're frequent causes of bites and bites treated by vets and poison control because they provoke immediate, distressing symptoms. So what should you do at the nursery if you're trying to avoid these hazards? First, read the tag and look up the scientific name before you buy. Common names are confusing and vary regionally. If a label lists Nerium oleander, Digitalis purpurea, Dieffenbachia spp, Cycas revoluta, Ricinus communis, Rhododendron, Azalea spp, Lilium spp, or Hemerocallis spp, and you share your home with vulnerable people or animals, pause and consider a lower-risk substitute. Take a quick photo of the plant label and search the scientific name on your phone before purchasing. Many nurseries do not flag toxicity on their tags, and appearance alone is not a reliable guide. Always store plants and trimmings where children and pets cannot reach them. Fallen seeds, fruiting bodies, trimmings, and potting media can all contain toxins. When pruning or handling risky plants, dispose of cuttings securely in a covered yard waste bin, rather than leaving them on the lawn, where a dog or grazing animal might find them. Keep cut flowers in bouquets out of reach, and consider removing pollen from lilies if you must have them around. But remember, do not attempt to treat a poisoned animal or person at home beyond keeping them from further exposure. Instead, call professionals immediately. If ingestion or exposure is suspected, contact the appropriate emergency services without delay. In the United States, poison control can be reached at 1-800-2222, 22, For immediate guidance, for animals, the ASPCA Animal Poison Control Center is available at 1-888-426-4435. Note that this line may charge a consultation fee. Your local veterinary emergency hospital is another direct resource. When you call, be prepared to give the plant's common and scientific name, the part ingested if you know it, leaf, seed, flower, approximate time of exposure, and the size and species of the person or animal affected. Do not induce vomiting or give home remedies unless explicitly instructed by a poison control professional or veterinarian. Some practical day-to-day habits will reduce risk significantly. Keep a list or photo album on your phone of any plants in your home with their scientific names. Train family members and regular guests about which plants are off limits to children and pets. If you compost, avoid putting potentially toxic seeds or trimmings where dogs or wildlife can access them. And when in doubt at the nursery, ask a staff member for the plant's Latin name and a quick note on toxicity rather than assuming anything. A few patterns are worth repeating because they come up over and over in reported cases. Seeds and bulbs often concentrate toxins. That's the case with sago palm seeds and castor bean seeds, so even a small seed can be disproportionately dangerous. Sap can cause severe local reactions. Think Dieffenbachia's calcium oxalate crystals, which makes contact risks immediate and obvious. And systemic toxins like cardiac glycosides or gray anotoxins can be insidious. Initial symptoms may be mild, but can escalate to critical heart or liver problems. That's why prompt contact with professionals is essential. The speed of onset and severity vary by species, the amount ingested, and the size and sensitivity of the person or animal. So the right move is to seek expert advice rather than wait to see if symptoms appear. You don't have to strip color and life from your living spaces. For a safe, flowering hedge instead of oleander, hibiscus and certain hardy laurels, offer abundant blooms without cardiac glycosides. For cottage garden height without foxgloves digitalis, try snapdragons or lupines for vertical interest. For low-light, child-friendly indoor greens, choose palms and ferns rather than Dieffenbachia. For tropical silhouettes that won't risk a dog's liver, areca palms and ponytail palms are excellent. To replace castor beans' big leaves and spikes, elephant ears and cannas give similar drama. Instead of azaleas where browsing animals are present, plant camellias or viburnums. For floral bouquets safe for cats, opt for roses, orchids, or gerbera daisies rather than lilies. I want to end with a short checklist you can memorize and use the next time you're shopping. Always check tags for the scientific name. If you're unsure, take a photo and look it up before purchase. Keep hazardous plants out of reach and dispose of trimmings securely. Know the emergency numbers. U.S. Poison Control, 1-800-2222-122. ASPCA, Animal Poison Control, 1-288-426-44435, and the phone number of your local veterinary emergency clinic. And when exposure happens, call professionals immediately rather than attempting home remedies. Plants are powerful. They can make a home more beautiful and a landscape more vibrant, but some exert that power in ways we don't want in our living rooms or yards. The 7 plants I outlined today: oleander, foxglove, Dieffenbachia, dumb cane, sago palm, castor bean, azaleas, rhododendrons, and lilies, daylilies, deserve special caution. Pair each hazardous choice with a safer alternative, read labels, and keep emergency numbers handy. If this helped you, like and share so other plant lovers can avoid a preventable emergency. And tell me in the comments which plant surprised you most, or what swaps you use in your garden. I read every comment and will respond with practical tips. Stay safe out there, and enjoy your plants with a little extra caution.